afternoon and welcome. Today we're going to go into a very, how can you say this? We're going to look at men and their emotions, and we're going to examine how we can help them with them, and also to equip our men with how to go about beginning the process of looking at, examining and dealing with their emotions. Now, I can't believe that I could go online, and I research obviously a lot of what I do, and there was nothing. There was no, there's a gazillion lists of how-tos, whys, etc., etc., etc. Hi, Debbie. Nice to see you. And, but there was nothing, not one quick list of how to help men and how to equip them, or for men and how to equip them with their emotions. I actually had to go and listen to and read some work on it that was, obviously not here that we could just go bang, shebang, here we are. And this all came about because I was sitting with some guys the other night, and one of them expressed how all their life they're told to just, keep it down, man up, suck it in, you'll be right. And then when everything unfolds in life and they're not all right, they have to go and learn how to do it. So I feel that we as women can play a very big part in helping our guys and raising our sons to be emotionally intelligent and, holding space for them so that they can go through this process, and so that overall we begin to change what's happening now for the generations that come after us. So, here we go. Here's our special list for today. 11 keys for men and their emotions. One of the major things that men need to know is that they are allowed to seek help. When you've been told all your life to man up and to hold it in, to, not even acknowledge that you've got emotions, it's important that we always reinforce for them that they are allowed to seek help. They're allowed to seek help outside of us, to encourage them to seek help, to break the patterns and the chains that have gone before them, from the history that's gone before them, the men that have gone before them. And, of course there's the odd person or two that's had a father that's been emotionally intelligent and there for their sons, but they're more rare than they are common, and we want to change this for the majority of people, okay? So key 2, you are allowed to cry. You are not weak. You are wholehearted. When you cry, you're coming from that space in your heart, and those tears are actually something that comes from strength that you can admit that this is how I'm feeling. I've had the privilege of sitting with my sons as they've cried because of what's been happening for them. And they don't sit there and wallow in it, or, they have a conversation about what's happening for them and where they want to go from. Here, it's a building process. You're building into your own life. You're building into the lives of your children, or in my son's case, my future children. My future grandchildren. Sorry, my kids have grown up. But for men, they need to know that they are allowed to cry, and we as women aren't going to reject them for it. That we as women are going to hold that space and go, we don't even have to solve it. We don't have to say anything. We just have to be there while they express their emotions. Okay? And if you've got a guy and he's never been allowed to do that, give him space, that it's going to take time for this to feel like the norm for him as well. Okay. Key 3, you are allowed to feel vulnerable. And it takes a lot of courage to be vulnerable. It takes a place where you can trust somebody. So if your guy can't open up, just give him time to trust the process as well. Men process differently to us, so we'll sit here and we'll chat and we'll talk the whole situation out segment by segment, what's happened, this happened, and then this happened, and then I saw that, etc., etc. So we will process outwardly, but a guy will go away and he'll process inwardly, and he will think about it and mull it over. Just think of the analogy of the man cave where he goes away to think about things. And we need to be wholehearted in ourselves and know that it's not about us just because he's off, in the man cave, thinking things through, processing his emotions. It doesn't mean that we won't ever hear about them. It just means he's going to go away and sort it out himself. We just happen to sort ours out loud and verbally. And you know what? It's when we sit back and we watch a guy who's doing this, I don't know about you, but I sit back and I go, wow, that's a real man. He's actually facing what's happening within him. So then he can come and talk to me about it and we go from there. It's good. It's a very positive thing to have happening. Key 4, you do not need to suck it up. Oh my goodness. If somebody is, if you're upset, be upset. We cannot live in a society where we feel afraid and we feel that we have to stay hidden, or that who we are, genuinely, heart and soul deep, has to stay hidden. Sorry. It can't happen, and we can't keep passing it on, all right? It's just not healthy at all. So stop sucking it up and spit it out. Just tell me what's going on. Because here's the thing, if you've got a wife, she knows what's going on inside of you because, that old intuition. But if she's strong enough and whole enough within herself, she'll let you sit with it for a while, okay? And then she'll say, right, come on, let's sit down. Let's have the word just went straight out of my head. Let's have an authentic conversation about what is really happening for you in this situation, okay? You do not need to fix or change circumstances, okay? So if your first instinct is that you want to fix it or change it, you need to put a stop to that and say, no, first of all, I've got to feel what I'm feeling, okay? Because fixing it and changing it isn't going to change how I'm feeling on the inside. So all of this is an inside job, all right? It's not an outside job, it's an inside job. Too often, and women can be absolutely guilty of this too, we can think, okay, if I just make this and this and this and this happen, then I'll feel good. It doesn't work that way, okay? We've got to get to that space within ourselves where we feel whole and complete and at peace. We have that peace within us. Then everything else around us tends to fall into place as well, okay? You do not have to be self-reliant. We are all wired to be in community with each other, to connect with each other. And if you've got a wife or a partner or mother, sister, any relative, brother, then wouldn't it be nice that two brothers could sit and be emotionally honest with each other? Actually, that's a really good thought. My sons do that. And look, they're two different temperaments, two different personalities, but they at least can be emotionally honest with each other. Yeah, I never thought of it like that, but yeah, it is. It's a good point. And look, when we're like this, it makes our relationships deeper and closer, and we're able to connect because we're able to be authentic with each other, okay? So don't think that you have to rely on yourself. And look, I read this article last night, which I just wanted to throw a baseball bat at or something like that. It was like, you've got to be kidding me. It was saying because men process their emotions internally that they've got to keep them in and be the strong one and all this. And I'm just like, surely in this day and age we've gotten past this, but no, some people are still like, be strong, keep it together. All right, I'll just drink or, smoke my emotions away and kill my body and not be here for my family and friends and not show up for my life. Nah, doesn't work. You're not here to do life on your own. None of us are. And even in this internet age where we're busier than ever, we can still connect online, okay, with Facebook groups. And, oh, look, there's a gazillion ways to connect online. And especially for our guys, get them connected in so that they can feel that they don't have to rely on themselves. Plus, they're going to hear other stories of other men who are going through the same challenges themselves. I mean, can you imagine a guy, okay, and this can happen for women as well, but as a guy, that all your life you've been told that you have to suck it up, keep it in, be reliant on yourself, don't let anyone know how you're feeling. And then all of a sudden to have someone who just sat with them and said, it's okay, I know what you're going through, and this is, this is how hard it was for me, the process to open up and be authentic about how I felt, because so much fear will come, like it goes against everything you've been raised to believe in, It's tough work. So we honour and respect those who are prepared to do the work. Key 7, you do not have to live with the script you were raised with, which is what I just touched on. If you're, and I can give you this example just from my own life, and it will apply right across everybody's lives. So the script generationally in my family was, if you get emotional, like there was this one time, my favourite grandmother travelled interstate. She was 5 minutes down the road from me, had been there 3 weeks, and I've been ringing and getting no answer. And I found out, and I just had this emotional outburst, like I was just sobbing, like, how could she not tell me she's staying 5 minutes down the road? But anyhow, in my family, when you had an emotional outburst, it was like, now, yes, you can come down and see me, but, we don't talk about this. Don't show those emotions. And it was at that precise moment in my life that I realised that we had how much in our family we have to keep hidden, okay? I was just like, yeah, no, it's not going to happen with my kids at all. And it didn't. I wouldn't. I have a particularly close sibling who this has affected his whole entire life. And it's very, very sad, okay? Alcohol, drugs, etc., etc. And that's because his story was, you have to do life on your own and you have to be self-reliant. Not good enough, okay? We need to throw that script out and rewrite our own script about what we want to do for our lives. First of all, you have to acknowledge that there is a script telling you that you can't have these emotions. And key 8, you need connection. Don't choke your emotions. When I was listening to the two guys talk about emotions last night, it was on a podcast, I think, they were saying how every time they had an emotion, they actually literally had to choke on it because that's what they're trained to do. And I'm like, that's dreadful, that you would have to sit there and every time your emotions come up, you literally are swallowing them. Can you imagine how much pressure that puts on us as a soul not to be who I am? Not good. And no wonder we get sick, heart sick. How many men do we know that have heart problems? And not only that, men commit suicide 4 times more than women. We've got to address this stuff. It's serious. We can't have them believing that they have to hold this stuff in anymore. It's toxic. The emotions are toxic when they're held in. Okay. Key 9, turning off your emotional valves will create a backfire. So if you turn them off and pretend they're not there or hide from them, not only does it create isolation, so you can be in the busiest of busy rooms, chock full of people. I mean, just imagine the most recent family barbecue, okay? Family occasion, everybody's there, and yet you felt so isolated and alone, okay? That's what it does. You can be in a room full of people and yet you feel alone. Don't want to do that anymore because we do need you here. Everybody is needed here. We've all got our role to play. Key 10, words will help you reframe the situation, okay? You don't have to go far and research or learn much to know how powerful words are, okay? So we want to use our words wisely, but what you want to do is start telling your story differently as well. So in the beginning, it may be simply that, okay, this was my story, this is what happened as a child, but now I'm going to reframe how I want that story to continue. For me, okay, this was my family, this is what the story was, we keep it hidden, even if you've had an emotional outburst. Heck, they used to call me Elizabeth Taylor growing up. Because I would say how I was feeling. So, but then we reframe it and we want to say, right, where am I going from here? How do I want to manage it? How do I want to learn? What do I want to learn? What do I need? Okay, talk it out loud, and it at least will relieve some of the pressure from the valves that you've kept tight. Now, one of the big takeaways from me was that emotional fitness. Being healthy enough to be emotionally fit and emotionally wholehearted. So as a male, they can feel very weak beginning to take this journey. And the two guys that spoke about it said when they reframed it into emotional fitness, I have to go and learn how to be emotionally fit, it was very empowering for them. Okay? So reframe it into emotional fitness. We need to go and get you emotionally fit. Well, we don't need to. You need to choose whether you want to be emotionally fit. Okay? All right. I think there's a lot to go through there today, and I hope it helps your guy. If he wants to watch it, no worries. Encourage him. I will put the 11 keys down below so that you can print it off if you need to. If you have any questions or comments, stick them down below and I will address them. And if you'd like to share this, that would be wonderful, because there are men around the world who really need to know that we care for their emotional fitness. Okay, that's me for today, and I will be back tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time. Thanks for being here with me. I really appreciate it. Bye for now.